Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Caleb and I've not really been on YouTube for quite some time, just studying currently, and the title of the video suggests, that vegan teacher. So some background about it, it's about this primary school teacher who became like an animal rights activist, and only in 2020 she emerged on TikTok, and so she's been creating many videos and many of which have gone viral for the wrong reasons. One instance was to do with this YouTuber, Tommy in it, and who is like a British Minecraft YouTuber, and so many different dramas. I think you can just easily search that vegan teacher and there'll be many other YouTubers who would explain the circumstance. I would suggest iNabber, Wallace, and James Marriott. I think they are pretty good explainers of the whole entire situation, and they even offer their insights. Today, 5 hours ago, that vegan teacher, she just came out with a video in response to Wallace's video critiquing the whole situation and his own feelings and ideas about it. And I watched D'Angelo's video yesterday, and I found it really insightful on the information given. He was pretty objective about it in the sense that, he did see the points that people were bringing up, but of course he did not try to bring pure hate to her. He genuinely did want to see, the points that she was trying to make, and of course give some advice to her on how she could have carried out her message better. So what I'm getting a feeling of from this teacher, in a sense, is that she is just trying to advocate for veganism through social media, and definitely her target audience being, through TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, all these platforms that she's on. It's probably the younger audience. We're gonna try to see it in a very objective manner and critique it in that way. I don't think bring hate to her would cause any change of some sort. I think just having fun and also educating others on what's going on around the world, and also making informed decisions to improve your lifestyle choices is also something good for society. With that said, let's get into the video. If you want to watch Wallace's video, it's up here in the card, and check it out. Really, it's really insightful, and yeah. With that, I'm gonna enter into this reaction video of hers. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Vegan Teacher Show. We have a new student in our class. His name is D'Angelo. Welcome to the Vegan Teacher's class. Let's see if he passed the oral assignment, or if he gets a kick in the ass.
Where do I even begin? Okay, I think this brings up the whole conversation about if you want to advocate for something, the last thing you want to do is try to tear the target audience down. Like, you do not want to tear the opposition party down in order to prove a point. That's the last thing you want to do. And gosh, wait, how old is D'Angelo? He's 22. Okay, he's my age. And for her, and she's, how old is she again? It says she's 56. I mean, I'm just imagining someone my mom's age calling out someone my age, so basically calling out her son and using the term like kick you in the ass. Like, what? Okay, I mean, the song, okay, she's on pitch for most of it. Okay, I give her a pass for that, I mean, she probably learned it through her nursery school experience and creating nursery rhymes and some sort. That's why she's kind of stuck in that realm, because in her other TikTok videos, you would see that her songs typically get into that realm of trying to be a nursery rhyme of sorts. Of course, I would say this is, as compared to her raps, this is way better. Okay, but yeah, just don't start a video insulting the opposite party. To me, that just doesn't make sense. Anyways.
Let's see how Dan D'Angelo did on his oral presentation, everybody. We have a list of criteria here on the left. All right, so we're in ethics class, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's all kinds of stuff here. There's about 30 things, but we won't have time to go through all of them, unfortunately. But let's begin anyway.
Okay. First of all, okay, there's room to say it's kind of like an oral presentation, but girl, woman, he is not your student. What? It's the same thing with the Tommy Innit drama. You know, she treated him like as if he was her student, but they were just strangers on the internet, and she just acted really weirdly, as if she was his teacher. So
maybe 1 or 2 of your 1 million followers will come over here, and maybe they will see what I'm all about, and they will learn to become vegan, and who knows, maybe that person one day will have 1 million followers who will all become vegan. So, good jobs. Congratulations to you. You get 1 check mark. Alrighty.
okay, hold up. He wasn't advocating for veganism. If anything, he was just saying that his point is that it's a personal choice whether you want to be vegan or not. And what? What's the point about what? Becoming 1 million, having 1 million subscribers and then convincing people?
Baby boy chicks are considered to be useless in the industry because they are never able to lay eggs, which results in them being murdered at just 1 day old by either being put in giant blenders, gassed to death, or being forced to suffocate slowly in giant bags with the weight and cries of their brothers surrounding them. I think you forgot to talk about the egg industry, D'Angelo.
Okay, so I did watch a little bit of the video before actually filming this. That's why I kind of felt it's worth to kind of film this. But just a heads up, this whole video is with her having this thought that he was trying to advocate for veganism. Basically, all her points would be just about what part of veganism that he did not include or did not bring up in the video. I probably think she did watch the video, and you clearly know, any sane person would know that he wasn't critiquing veganism as like a diet or the community. He was just talking about you and what your actions were. Like, where in mind did you infer that the video was talking about veganism and critiquing veganism? Anyways, I think it's just good, entertainment value. This video, of course, I think it's important that we do not take any of this to heart. I don't know whether she's really being serious or not, but her continuing to create so many videos online. If you can check her TikTok, her YouTube, her Instagram, she's really created a lot of videos and consistently. So there probably is some sense of enthusiasm, and also on the other hand, just sense of trolling, in my opinion. I'm not sure, but this is what I'm getting.
Mothers are raped, the baby girl cows are forced to grow up to be milk machines, slaves. I don't think that you talked about the dairy industry. So that's another X.
This is what I'm saying. So basically, her having this perspective that he is talking about veganism, and all she's doing is just critiquing what parts of veganism that he brought up in the video, and not about the real point that is about the things that she did. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that the points she's bringing up is wrong. Probably there's some research into it. I do have some knowledge about the unethical practices that goes on in the animal agriculture industry, but by no means in this context of whatever is happening, she's not addressing the thing that is supposed to be, or what we are wanting her to see.
Baby boy cows do not want to be forcefully torn from their mothers and forced to be alone in small cages, waiting to be murdered and turned into veal sandwiches or burgers. I definitely know you did not talk about that in your presentation. So it's a little eggs there, but don't worry. It's it looks a bit disproportionate for now, but it could get better. Let's have a look. All right.
This is also something that's been bothering my mind, about this whole situation, is that, she really is taking this quite seriously. Like, in terms of people critiquing her on the internet, she goes back on them in this very teacher style manner, and it just seems to me like it's on one hand a bit of like she's taking this bad press as something good for her, and then yet I do not want to think that she's mentally unstable. Perhaps she is sane in some aspects, the fact that she knows how to create a channel on these platforms, and she has eloquent language, and she has been a teacher in the past, does show that she has some intellectual capability. It's just, to me, it seems a bit like she is taking all this, seeing all this differently from what we're seeing.
In the movie Dominion, that's what we see, is how they're unable to turn around these mother pigs. They just are, they're seen as a machine, as a commodity. So that's how they treat them. I know that you did not talk about that. That I would have really remembered.
Okay, so this is not her first time bringing up two documentaries, Dominion and Earthlings. I have admittedly not watched any of these two films, but I have seen reviews on the film. Okay, and here's what I have to think. Yes, these films bring up very good points on the terrible practices that goes on in the industry, but it feels like, to me, very one-sided. It doesn't bring about a very comprehensive understanding of the industry. It's just trying to bring about the directors or the writers' point of view of what they're trying to advocate for. And undoubtedly, it creates just a totally, purely negative representation of the industry itself, in order to bring about their point. But what we can do as viewers, we can use this as an opportunity, as a platform for discussion. We shouldn't just be using this and say, hey, this video is here, this video said these things, and therefore you need to not just believe in these things. If you are not following the correct way that they are trying to preach, they're trying to advocate for, you are wrong. You are condoning these practices. You are saying yes, that these things should happen, or that you are ignorant to these practices. Miss Katie, you need to expand your literary material. Okay, you just can't be referencing these two videos all the time. Them being documentaries and definitely being released on the commercial platforms, there's definitely some sensationalization that goes into it. Like, undeniably, there's definitely going to be some exaggeration, or, like I said, one-sided truths. So go and brush it up by looking at research articles. There are so many out there. Just do your due diligence on your hand. You're trying to ask people to watch these videos, but you need to expand your own knowledge as well. You need to be informed yourself, right? Okay.
Did you talk about the wool industry, silk, fur, or honey at all? No, I don't think so. One thing you could do is show some of the cruelty-free products that you have at your house. You just look for the symbol with the little V, like for vegan, and if you show those, that will give you a point.
No, he does not need your points, miss. Okay, he wasn't doing this to get appraisals from you. Okay, D'Angelo wasn't bringing up trying to advocate for veganism. Why does he need to show vegan products in his home? Anyways, I'm sure he doesn't see the need to gain points from her, and neither do we see the need for him to gain points from her. Okay, she's just taking this all to some other level, in some other realm.
Right. Well, another thing that will give you a point is if you're shown eating healthy vegan foods on camera. That's another point. So, for people who are going to be doing presentations about that vegan teacher's videos, or just to show your audience that you have seen videos about me, just whatever reason you're doing it, to get more followers, whatever, you will be getting extra points if you show yourself eating healthy vegan foods, and of course losing points if you're showing yourself eating animals that were exploited.
It's good, you have a heart to to bring about the awareness of veganism as a whole and get people to join such practices, but we do also have our perspective on how you should bring up these things. This is something very common in the YouTube community with so-called what we term as problematic YouTubers, like the likes of Jeffree Star, Tana Mojo, Gabby Hanna, well, who else? Shane Dawson, etc. Okay, it's like they see all criticism as hate or like just trying to get a bandwagon and gain views for the channel. Yes, on some part, many of these YouTubers probably are doing it for that entertainment value, but you can't deny there's some truth in whatever they're saying. You know, they are still trying to give you some good pointers. Like, don't just see the bad in everything. Just like she doesn't want us to see the bad in what she's doing. So it goes both ways, Miss Katie.
That's not funny at all. That's really that. You might even lose 2 points for each time you do that, maybe more. So I would encourage you not to do that because it's just not kind. You know.
You know what's not kind? Telling a 22-year-old who you do not know at all that you would kick him in the ass. That is not kind. And I mean, just look at her other videos as comebacks to other people on the internet. I mean, I can even just list out, you know, other things that she said. If I remember correctly, she has brought up in videos where she did say that, you know, she thinks that, you know, if you do not choose to be a vegan, you are an asshole. So that is in itself is already not kind. Come on, practice what you preach, okay? Just what is going on, okay?
The whole point of doing these presentations is to try to make the world a better place.
Oh, is it now? Is it now? Because all you're doing is just trying to stir up controversy, get people talking about you in the worst kind of ways because of what you have been saying to people, viewers who have not, you know, really known about the situation beforehand. You know, she has also talked about religion, race as, like, you know, in a way of diminishing the necessities of bring about awareness for these, like, you know, these things and in comparison to veganism. So one example she did bring up about race, that, you know, people who are concerned about race, they should be more concerned about veganism. Like, they shouldn't be, like, black people should be more concerned about veganism than them being, you know, the justice that they're trying to fight for. Which it's just like, where, like, this is just losing it at this point. Like, this is not trying to make the world a better place. Okay, that is just trying to add fire to the fire.
Hunting and fishing are not family time. They are acts of premeditated murder. Did you talk about that? It's really important that we let people know that premeditated murder is not okay. Sitting there in a boat hoping to kill an innocent fish is not family time. Family time is going to a protest with signs. Yeah, signs like this.
Okay, what? Eating animals, pandemics come from meat. First off, she's going off that rumor, you know, that rumor about, you know, Wuhan and China and the coronavirus coming from the bat. Okay, first of all, it's not confirmed that it came from the bat. Okay, yes, the bat is dirty and whatever, but if you're trying to say that the pandemic came from the meat, that is flawed. Okay, that is, gosh. And she just said the most outrageous thing. Okay, a protest counts as family time. I mean, come on, on what planet are you on, miss? I just, like, how okay, I get the point about premeditated murder of the fish. As a family going fishing, actually now when you put it in the context, oh, actually isn't that pleasant? But a protest as a good example of family time? What?
Signs that make people think a little bit about where did COVID come from. It didn't come from tofu, I'll tell you that. Signs like...
What I will laugh about is that if it really actually came from vegetables, because we really never... The World Health Organization still hasn't confirmed the origin of this virus. So in any case, if it does come from vegetables, we know who to go back to, okay? For this, and it will just be another case where it aged real badly. But of course, even if it happened that way, she just dusted it under the carpet as if she never said that. Whatever.
You bring these to a protest.
Buy love one, but eat the other. Okay, this has been a debate for a very long time. Even in Singapore, we do have a lot of talks within the pet societies. On Facebook, online. There is this talk about how come we are okay with keeping pets like your typical pets like dogs, cats. We feel heartache when we see people eating dogs and cats, but when we come to eating seeing chickens and pigs and all that, we kind of think it's okay to eat. Of course, there are many arguments on both sides, but one I resonate with at least, is that there is this rationale, like reasoning why that one is more okay than the other, because basically they are mass produced in that sense. So it's okay, I'm just opening a whole big can of worms right now. But there is this debate back and forth about both camps, and but who are we to say one is correct and the other is not? It's just a choice. It's your choice to resonate with which one more.
Why love one but eat the other? Or you wear one of these on your backpack, you classify it, and no matter where you're walking, it bounces around and you can see it on both sides, Why love one but eat the other? Isn't that cool? So you get extra points if you do that. This is a packaging, you could just show that and say, hey, I'm going to try this, or I tried it.
In the same way, why can't I just show you that my chicken, my McChicken burger from McDonald's and say, hey, this is what I eat?
Any of these positive things will get you extra points. Good to remember in the future. Also, if you show a book, like any kind of book like this about veganism, a cute book, has all little pictures, and it talks about all different kinds of things that you need to know, sprouting, and where iron comes from, calcium, common legumes. I mean, look at that, That's great. And this also, by the way, makes a great gift. This or any vegan book. Just to give somebody a book that they can use to help their brain and their heart.
Yes, I agree. These books are good. They do educate you on useful information about vegan diets and fruits and vegetables. But in no way are they trying to insinuate that one diet is good and the other is not. Okay, it's just like, I don't know why she's bringing up these materials that trying to support her idea of one good, the other bad, and in the first place, these materials themselves, they're not meant to be. That the purpose is not that. It's. Oh, come on, man. At this point, she can just write a book. Okay, she can just write a book about how veganism is good and how a meat diet is bad, and just use that as a you should buy this to if you are truly a supporter of veganism.
All right, so let's see. We're talking about animal cruelty and the link to other forms of oppression such as sexism, racism, ableism, and ageism. Did you talk about that?
Like I said, her point about this, it seems problematic, or at least rich, coming from her, because like I said, in there's been cases where where people have brought up about race, about religion, and she has literally said that those things matter less compared to veganism, the fight for veganism.
The student raised awareness of the connection between all forms of discrimination and pointed out that those who claim to be oppressed should not stand on the windpipes of animals and expect sympathy while they themselves are the oppressors.
Okay, so she's trying to justify that why veganism is more important than these other social issues is because how can we be advocating for another issue about trying to not be oppressed about something else when we are already being the oppressor of a certain thing. Likewise, I think I can say about you, miss, in your perspective, okay, you are not oppressing animals. We are the oppressors of animals. You are not oppressing animals. Okay, good. But at what cost are you doing that at? You are literally, at the same time, oppressing black people, oppressing minority communities, and people who are fighting for social justice. They're just so rich, okay?
That's important that you let people know that. We need to teach this to all of these minority groups who claim that they are victims. Are they victims? Yes. Are they oppressors? Yes.
Are you an oppressor? Yes.
Can they change? Yes.
Can she change? Yes.
Everybody can strive to be vegan.
Yes, everybody can, but doesn't mean that we must. Doesn't mean that everybody should. Okay?
Just because you are oppressed, no matter what minority group you are, doesn't mean that you can't put your hand on the tofu instead of the beef. Okay, we don't want to hurt animals. We want to protect them. We want to eat plants. We can always speak out on behalf of the animals. If you see somebody hurting an animal, you can say something.
Okay, in all fairness, yes, we can do what we can to support another social issue while we are fighting for another. I get that point. But when she's comparing something as grave as, the justice for black people to veganism, it just... on what levels do these two matters match at that you can say, use this as a point?
Instead of buying the cow's milk, you buy the oat milk or the soy milk. But, for the future, talk about how we need to protect animals, talk about healthy foods that we can eat, talk about the ethics involved, and you will get some points.
How about in the future, you actually address the problems that people are trying to point out to you, and stop trying to spin it around. You want people to listen to you, you have to listen to people. It's not a one-way street, and it's a conversation. This whole matter. It's a discussion topic. It's not supposed to be in the realm of right and wrong. Man, I missed
one over there. Just put the next one here. And let's see. The student acted as a role model and declared publicly that she will make strives to be as vegan as possible from now on. And in his or her presentation, encouraged the audience to do the same. D'Angelo, did you do that?
This is where I disagree with as well, because we should be striving to build a better community, to strive for a better diet. There are many arguments on both sides, both camps, of which diet is better, and it's been an ongoing debate for decades. And I've seen some health research articles, and one point they brought up best was that ultimately It's not about who is right, who is wrong, what diet is right, what diet is wrong. Ultimately, strive for a better, more sustainable, healthy diet, and not trying to say who is right and who is wrong. Yeah, I mean, that's her perspective on society. I respect that, but in no way has she got the right to tear someone else down just because they disagree with her point of view. Everyone is entitled, or at least has a say in the matter. Ultimately, this is still a discussion space. There is an ongoing discussion about it. Let's have a discussion. Let's not try to segregate and distance both camps even more. Yeah.
Did you say, I should probably try to be more vegan? In fact, I will. Hey, million subscribers. Let's all do this together. Did you say that? You missed a great opportunity.
Yeah. What a shame, right? I mean, what a shame.
Let's see. Did the student talk about vegan fantastica, which is the opposite of vegan phobia? D'Angelo, even though you might not be vegan, you could still have been vegan fantastic by helping people like me by saying, guys, you should check out that vegan teacher's channel, or you should watch this movie, Dominion. Now, you did show it. You showed the cover, right? That was good. I'm going to give you a point for that, actually. I really like that you showed people in your video what the front page of Dominion Movement looked like, that baby cow. And for those of you who don't know, you go to watchdominion.com, in all one word, watchdominion.com. Okay, I'm going to compose a good song for that.
No, you do not need to compose a good song for that. Okay, just don't. Anyways, she's just missing the whole point of his video. She's wasting her time critiquing something that wasn't there. Like, what?
Some of the graphic stuff that goes on, which is basically just whatever's on your plate. It's dead on your plate anyway. Bacon, chicken, ham, beef, all of it. These are dead animals. So why would you not open the video to see these dead animals when you have them on your plate anyway? I don't get it.
Well, I don't get it why you're being so uptight about someone else having a different view. Like, it's just at this point, it kind of began as like a fun, comeback at someone, in the video, and at this point, it just seems to me that she's getting real aggressive and like real triggered by his video. Like, girl, you're 56 and he's 22. Have some perspective. Like, come on now.
So, next time, you either show the graphic footage because people need to see it so that they will change, so that they can make informed decisions, or you talk about it.
This is what I'm saying. She's going about the guys. She's trying to advocate on the guise of making an informed decision. But no, she's like I said. She says that if you're not a vegan, you are an asshole. How is that? That is not trying to get people to make an informed decision.
You can also do something like show a menu from a vegan restaurant and help promote vegan businesses. At the end of your presentation, the student thanked animal rights activists for their consistent work ethic as they work tirelessly for innocent victims who never did one single thing wrong to any of all of us ever. Did you thank any animal rights activists in your video? Did you say thank you to these kind-hearted people, all of my students who every single day are brave enough to be vegan? I don't think you did. I don't think you acknowledged anything. Another thing you...
Oh. You didn't think that he acknowledged anything. That is so rich coming from her. Okay, that's all I can say. I think everyone knows. You all know what I'm gonna say. I mean, we are on the same page, right? At this point, that wherever she's thinking at is just completely out of bounds from where the initial discussion was supposed to be. And if someone's just not willing to listen, there's no point in trying to talk to them. And clearly, you know, she's expecting others to listen to her, to agree with her, to educate themselves, and yet she's not doing any of that. You know.
Would have done it is at the end when you said thank you. You could have showed some art that you did. I'm just going to show you something here. For example, you could have showed a pillow that you painted that says "Be brave, be vegan." It takes somebody special to make a positive video about that vegan teacher and all of the good things that all animal rights activists are doing.
She did not just try to lump herself with like all these animal rights activists. Like, it's one thing you want to advocate, but if you want to lump yourself into it, do know that you are bringing a bad name to this community of activists. I get it. It takes some level of bravery to be vegan. Like I read on some other forums about people who are vegans, and they share about their lifestyles about being vegans, like, you know, in terms of food choices, going out with friends and social settings, even making it like, you know, the cost of food and all that. You know, being a vegan is tough in society. I'm not doubting that. It's like, where are you getting your hatred or your unhappiness from, miss? Like, what?
Next time that you do a presentation, or anybody else who does a presentation for class, remember these criteria. It has to be positive. It has to be talking about the animals. Looking forward to doing my next evaluation. Who am I going to be evaluating next? I don't know.
Hopefully not me. I mean, I'm so small. Who gives a damn, right? Whatever. I mean, I think it's gonna be good fodder for humor when we see the next video.
Take care, D'Angelo. Do 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 do.
Anyways, yeah, that's it for the video. This is pretty much just my feelings about, you know, it all, this whole controversy, and, you know, I think at this point we already know, like I said, you know, the person that we're dealing with, she's just not willing to listen to criticism. What we can do as viewers, or what we can do as outsiders of the situation, and knowing all this, you know, we just be objective and you know, of course, I do applaud YouTubers who are, you know, being you know, able to kind of pick the good out of it and advise her. The worst thing to do is just insult her back. I think that's, I mean, we don't want to be like her, right? Yes, she is coming off really aggressively at times, and saying things that are just so off the charts, like just crazy. But we just do not want to, you know, combat it with in that same level of hatred. And yeah, so that's all I have for today. Give a like, comment, subscribe if you would like to. I don't regularly create videos. This is just something that I just thought, you know, it was a free afternoon to do, and yeah, I hope you all enjoy it. See you all when I see you.